Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rachel and I do all sorts of planner and stationery stuff here on the YouTubes. Today I am going to do a comparison of the new Sterling Ink Common Planner. Wow. And the Hobonichi Cousin. Boo. Just kidding. I actually do really like the Cousin, but the Common Planner was created by Catherine from Sterling Ink in an effort to fix some of the things that she felt and the wider community felt could be improved with the Cousin. So we're going to take a look at these two planners side by side and see if she succeeds. So first, one of the major cons of the Cousin is the size. It is an A5 size, and for some of you that may be a pro, having all of the extra space to write. It may be crucial for you, that may be something you really like, but I think for me and a lot of people, this planner just gets really, really heavy. Personally, I've also found the back pages to be a bit intimidating on the daily pages, like you have to fill up all this space each day. So the size is a little bit overwhelming and it can be a bit heavy, but Sterling Ink solves that problem by creating a B6 size, so it's much smaller and it weighs a little bit less than the Hobonichi Cousin as well, which is great. This is what the sizes look like lined up. So this is the B6, this is the A5. You can see there's like a ½ inch to an inch over here and then like a full inch on the top cut off, which makes for a very compact little planner. Because these planners both have monthlies, weeklies, and daily sections, they are very close in size in terms of the width of the planner. I think the Sterling Ink planner has just a little bit more girth. And I have done a few tip-ins on this planner, the Hobonichi Cousin that I have in my hands, so it is a little bit thicker right now, but you can see that the width on top looks about the same also. Moving along to the inside, you can see that the Hobonichi Cousin has the 2022 calendar, so the current year calendar, the previous year calendar, and then the next year calendar. Sterling Ink's planner just has the current year in the yearly overview, so just the year that the planner covers. Then Sterling Ink's planner has a blank page, and this is where it gets really different, some goal breakdowns. So there's one goal page spread in the Sterling Ink planner that does not exist in the Cousin at all. And then we move on to the yearly views. So in the Hobonichi, the yearly views look like this, and there is one page for the first part of the year and one page for the second part of the year. This is a spring start Hobonichi Cousin, so mine starts in April, but if you got a traditional Cousin, it would start in January and it would have the 2-page spread. The Common Planner instead couples the yearly overview with a quarterly breakdown, so you have extra space to write about your months over here on the side, priorities for the quarter, and then you see a very similar layout here that's of course slightly smaller. And like I said, that is broken up by quarter, so it's divided, not all in one spread. I have to find a month I haven't written in. Then we come to the monthly pages, and here you can really see how stripped back the Sterling Ink Common Planner is compared to the Cousin. These colors on weekends and holidays are no longer present. Of course, because this is an American-made planner and this is a Japanese-made planner, there is no Japanese lettering in the Sterling Ink Common Planner. It just has the days of the week. And then over here, she's also removed the sort of blockiness of this setup and just had a blank sort of white space instead of that. But she has kept the essentials. She has kept the week numbers over here on the side, and she has kept, of course, the days of the week and the numbers of the days as well. Like the Cousin, it's also a Monday start. You can buy Cousins that are Sunday start, but the traditional one has a Monday start, and she has retained that as well. I personally struggle with using the monthly sections. I've used them for a variety of different things. Like for a while, I was tracking the media that I watched, which actually I really liked. For a while, it was just like more big events, but I usually lose track of them, so I don't think her changes are gonna fix me losing track of the months necessarily, but it is nice to see it very stripped back and pared back towards the essentials, so you can really do whatever you want on this page. You can still do that in the Cousin, but again, some people don't like the colors. Depending on which version of the Cousin you get, it will always give you a few months after the Cousin ends in the monthly section. So because I have an April start Cousin here, this planner technically ends in March, but you can see it still gives me April, May, and then just April and May. I think in the traditional like January start Cousin, they'll give you January, February, and March from the next year. Sterling Ink's planner only gives you January. So if you do a lot of forward planning, the Cousin might be the way to go, but if you only do about 1 month in advance, the Common Planner is perfectly capable of doing that. And then we move into the weekly. So let me find a blank weekly in this spread and this planner. The weekly section is why a lot of people actually buy the Cousin. And you can see it has these beautiful, very neat looking vertical weeklies, lots of space on a sidebar to write additional information. And it goes from 5 a.m. to 4 a.m. over here on the timeline for each day. Saturday and Sunday are separate. So a lot of planners that compete with the Cousin, so like Wonderland or something, will have, or Jibun Techo, will have slightly different variations on this. Jibun Techo will have like a much slimmer column, and they also have a lot of extra stuff going on, like extra icons and things like that, so that you can like note the weather and stuff. And then the vertical weekly in the Wonderland has Saturday and Sunday stacked. So as far as I know, this is the first sort of comparable planner that doesn't have any of those issues. It just has, again, a very stripped back version of the Cousin's weekly system. So you can see up here at the top, it's very, very slim, very small, very easy to cover with stickers if you don't like her font or anything like that. The day and then the week, just the first three initials, so day and then week over here. Like I said before in the monthlies, Saturday and Sunday are not colored. There's not this blocky text over here. It's just a very pared back, completely colorless version of what is up here. And then she measured this out on her videos. So if you want to see an exact measurement, you can go over to her channel and check it out. But when she measured it out, she noted that the Cousin's week is only 1 grid space larger than the weekday in her common planner. So it may be kind of hard to see. I'm not lining it up probably perfectly for the camera, but I can tell just looking at it right here that this is like definitely slimmer, but it's not too much slimmer. It's only 1 grid space slimmer. And the grid size also, I should say, is the same. You can also see that on this page, and this is true of the monthly section and the daily sections when we get there, the grid is very, very light here on the Sterling Ink Common Planner, and it is slightly darker in the Cousin. The grid's coloring never really bothered me in the Cousin, but I do love the look of the light planner. I have a feeling that when I use the Common Planner, I'm gonna have a tough time going back to the darker grid of the Cousin, but as you can see, the difference is noticeable, but if you never had any issues with the Cousin grid coloring like I didn't, then this may not be a selling point for you. I do know that a lot of people like to play around with their layouts though, and find the darkness of the lines in the Cousin to be prohibitive of that, so they are not able to do that as easily. So this might be a real bonus. Honestly, this is the part where I'm just amazed that she was able to fit this weekly down into the B6 size and still have a sidebar and still have all of the essential information. I am just amazed at that. Oh, before I forget, I know I went through, it says 5 a.m. to 4 a.m. on the Cousin, but this is 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if you're like me and you've always struggled with what to do on the extra space in the Cousin, like after you go to bed, this part of my planner is always like weirdly blank and I hate it. This has a lot less, will have a lot less of that. So I usually wake up at 5 and she has a little bit of extra room here if you want to add 4 and 5 up there. I usually wake up at 5 and then go to bed at around 9. So I'm only going to have a small section of the planner that is blank, and I can easily fill that with, like, that's a perfect size for like a washi tape or something like that. So I'm really excited for the things that bother me specifically about the Cousin Weekly to be fixed in this common planner. And you can see once again, there is no coloring, no red, no weekend highlighted, no holidays highlighted, just the days of the week. Let's move on to the daily section. And again, I'm just finding a day that I have not used. This is where people will see the biggest difference, which is that there are no dailies in the Sterling Ink Common Planner. There are 365 daily pages, quote unquote, so that if you want, you could use each one of these pages for a day, and she's made it so that there are enough pages like that. These pages are also numbered, by the way, which is not necessary in the Cousin because it has the dates. So this fixes a couple of my pet peeves of the Cousin, which is that the colors of the Cousin are quite invasive. On a month like this, which is like a rust red, kind of brownish orange color, I really like it because a lot of my stationery supplies go with that color. But for example, this like yellowy green color that's the month of May, I just never am able to find decor or be inspired to be in my planner in this month because of the color. So I really like that the color has been removed from the daily sections because it's just a blank notebook in the back. And this goes back to the sort of spirit of the Common Planner, which is that it's part planner, part commonplace notebook. So in the back here, you aren't just limited to writing out what's going on this day. You can write whatever you want. Of course, lots of people take the Cousin and just ignore the dailies completely and write whatever they want. But for those of us who find that hard, this is a really, really nice change. The Cousin also has a timeline over here on the side and a sort of 5-box section up at the top. This layout is already super flexible, so if you like a dated page, I think that this will certainly meet your needs, but if you want a little bit more flexibility or you want to write in your own dates or anything like that, the B6 Sterling Ink Common Planner has got your back. Like I said before, there are 365 of these. I think there's like a few extra. Yeah, there's 369 total. I would bet the extra pages are because the book had to be bound with a certain number of pages, so she just tacked on a few extra daily pages. But it does give you a little bit of extra flexibility if you wanted to do 1 page per day and then have like a couple pages for like yearly trackers or something to that effect. The Cousin also has a few pages in the back that are totally blank. Like I said, I have a spring Cousin, so mine ends at the end of March, but ordinarily it would be the end of December, and then you'd go into a set of blank pages. It also has some pages that have Japanese on them or have like little template-y things for you to fill out. I cover these things up with budgetary sheets, or at least I did in my spring Cousin. As you can see, I didn't use all of them, which is a shame. You can kind of tell right there, like the print that was on this page before. I think most people find these pages to be like 50-50, like some of them are usable, some of them are just in another language. I guess if you're Japanese, they'd be more useful to you. But the Sterling Ink Common Planner does not have any of that. Overall, I think Catherine at Sterling Ink did a fantastic job taking everything from the Cousin that was irritating or annoying to people, or that just didn't work for her personally, that she sensed that also didn't work for the community writ large. I think she did a great job taking those things and creating the Sterling Ink Common Planner as a substitute. Of course, there are a few little flares that are very much her brand. The cover is nice and textured. There is gold foiling on the sides. The lettering is very sleek. I love the font combinations of this like serif font on the cover and then on the internal pages, how that looks compared with the sans serif that she uses for like the numbering and the lettering. I think it's very sleek. I think the design is really nice, and she really put a lot of thought into this, into making a planner that was very much like the Hobonichi Cousin, but was slightly pared back, a little bit smaller, a little bit more portable, a little bit more usable for those of us who have either grown to have some pros and cons with the Hobonichi Cousin, or who just don't feel like the space is usable for them. So that is the video, guys. Thank you so much. Let me know down in the comments below which one of these you liked. If there are things that the Common Planner does not have that the Cousin has that you prefer in the Cousin, and what your final takeaway is. I would love to know. If you bought the Sterling Ink Common Planner, please let me know. If you didn't already, I believe she's gonna have a few more limited releases on like Friday, November 18th, and I think Saturday the 19th. Head on over to her Instagram to find out the full details. If you didn't get one, she's just gonna have a few left. So if you want one after watching this video, you need to get it at that time. But the Hobonichi Cousins are still in stock for 2023 on Hobonichi's website and in various other platforms like Amazon or JetPens as well. And of course, just gonna plug again my unboxing and first impressions of the Common Planner up in the cards and also down below if you wanna see a more in-depth run through of this planner and just get my full excitement and thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you for subscribing. Leave your favorite color heart in the comment below, and I love you so much. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.